Keelon Russell has arrived at Tuscaloosa not to be a backup quarterback. He wants to start ASAP, and he wants to win a national championship. You've come to the right place, my man. We're going to talk about that. And then how about this? Domani Jackson, cornerback, says NFL is going to be there, but I'm going back to Bama. We're going to talk about both of those things right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell, all those things that you Alabama fans know how to do. Auburn fans, hey, hope you guys had a good weekend. All right. Yeah, I know, Auburn fans. There's four things you can't. I don't want to confuse you. But what I will tell you is watch out for Keelon Russell. This is a guy that is from Duncanville, Texas. You Bama fans know about him. He is being described by his former head coach as being very Michael Penix-like, the former standout from Washington, accurate with the football, ready to win, and really has done nothing but win in high school. And a couple state titles there, was the Gatorade Player of the Year for all sports, not just football or whatever they call that, like the Athlete of the Year. And he's coming to Alabama, and actually he's at Alabama. So Bama Online and other publications said that he's going to be there a little earlier. So instead of being there today, he's going to got there yesterday. And that's cool. Hey, great to have you on campus. And what's really even more impressive is that he's not afraid to talk about things that some quarterbacks are afraid to talk about. And I like that about him. And the first thing is that he's talking about being a starting quarterback as soon as possible, starting quarterback. And he's also talking about wanting to win a national championship or championships. And at Alabama, those things are great. I mean, the guy's confidence is off the charts. So it's going to be really fun to see how the five-star quarterback is able to mesh with this Alabama offense. Now, something else that we're looking at is, could Ryan Grubb end up back at Alabama? There's a lot of rumblings that the Seahawks and him are going to part ways. Maybe by the time you watch this, they have parted ways, and that his good old buddy, Coach DeBoer, would love to have him back. And then, you slide Nick Sheridan back into his normal role, and all of a sudden you got the offensive coordinator and assistant coaches set up the way that they were in Washington, because Alabama struggled offensively at times. We know about the Oklahoma game and then the Michigan games. Both of those games really, really bad for Alabama. But you know what? It's a new crop of quarterbacks. So we feel like Ty Simpson most likely is going to end up being the starting quarterback. And then Austin Mack will be there. And then here comes Keelon Russell to try to push them. And is it possible that he could push them? That's for him to find out. But I love the fact that he's talking about it. He's got a great relationship with Coach DeBoer, talked a lot about Coach DeBoer in different interviews, and basically that he and Sheridan have kind of been on his side from, the start. And remember, he was going to go to SMU and then decommitted and came to Alabama, and he's stuck with it. So good for him. It's exciting to see someone with this much talent come and get there. And you love it when the players come early and they get that opportunity to kind of, start school and start playing football and, and learn and have experience, and maybe he's a guy you see in the fall game, maybe, the spring game. Maybe he's a guy you see at the 8A game, so anyway, exciting thing to have for Alabama, because what you want is as much competition as you can possibly have. The more competition, the better. I've said that on this channel a ton of times. Show's brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi, guys. Timeout Sports Lounge in the Golden Moon Casino. Great place to go. You don't have to fly all the way out to Vegas. Hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 hours and change from Birmingham. Go over there, play the sports book. It's a lot of fun. Do $50, keep the receipt, go over and play the Azaleas, the Oaks, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, which is a tremendously nice golf course. I mean, they call it the Augusta that you can play, and you can play it for $40 when you go over to the sports book. And look, you may put the 50 down and have a parlay and win thousands of dollars off of it. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the result is, just a ticket. Go over and you can play for the golf course for $40. Makes a pretty fun weekend, and we appreciate their support. All right, let's talk about Domani Jackson. Back to Tuscaloosa. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen with Jackson. We saw a bunch of guys say that they were coming back to Alabama over the weekend. Domani Jackson announced on Sunday that he was going to return to Alabama's secondary. That's big for the Tide. You remember he was a 5-star recruit that Alabama tried to get, and then they lost him to USC. And then he decided, hey, you know what? I want to go to Alabama. He left USC and came to Tuscaloosa, fit in great, had a tremendous season. He started every game for Alabama. He was definitely a lockdown corner, had 47 tackles, couple interceptions, some pass breakups. I think like 8 of those, no, maybe 7 of those. And he is someone that would have been later in the draft, would have gotten drafted, but you come back and you go, you know what? I'm going to come back. And what I'm going to do is come back and be a first-round pick or be, because there's so much money. And not only money, the other part of being a first-round pick or a second-round pick is that there's an investment there. You know, if you're one of those guys towards the end of the draft and you don't have a good camp, they'll cut you. You know, so you don't cut your first-round pick, you know, and your second-round pick. He's got the talent to get there, and it's a position that if he has a great season, another great season, works on the things that the draft experts tell him to work on, he may turn that into a first round or a second round grade, and he'd be a lot more confident. So that's good for Alabama. And all of a sudden you look at all these guys who have decided to return, and I think it starts with everybody's favorite, and that is Deontay Lawson. We all love Deontay Lawson. Hopefully he can get through a season injury-free, but, man, he is a great football player. You got Jefferson back. You got Keon back, and that gives you, look, some guys that are going to return and be there. I like what the defense is doing because, you're seeing guys transfer out, and every day you're looking around and you're going, who's going to transfer out? Who's going to stay? And so it was good news to see that he was going to stick, So every single day, it's during this time, you're just wondering who's going into the portal and who's going to stick around. But to have Tim Keon back, man, I really liked watching him play. And then Justin Jefferson got the extra year of eligibility thanks to Diego up there at Vandy. He figured out how to do this. Hey, just take him to court. And Pavia to the rescue. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. Let me remind you that we have a discount code for New Life Art, and you need to take advantage of it. And some of you guys actually have, and you should. 20% off using the promo code Bama Tailgate at checkout. You use it when they say, hey, where'd you hear about it? Hit that, and that's kind of like a, hey, I heard it on the Bama Tailgate show. And then when you get to checkout, you got to put that in right there. That right there. There it is. Bama Tailgate. And you get 20% off everything but like the new releases. So the mugs, the calendars, the canvas prints, the little guys, the big guys. I mean, all of them. So take advantage of that. All right. Have a great Monday. And I know for some of you, it's been a long vacation. Back to work. I'm not afraid to work. Thank you guys, though, for hanging out, and roll tide, everybody. We will talk to you again soon, maybe later today. Who knows? Maybe something big will break.
To Pearl River Resort.